driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Early Friday evening. I'd be surprised if anybody show. Oh, there's already 2 on. Maybe I was wrong. There we are. I didn't wake up until about an hour ago. I'm trying to change my sleep habit, and that did not work. I'm trying to stay up later so I can do some different work. Jackie, good to see you. I'm not too happy with the recovery world right now, so I'll have to apologize in advance. I just don't understand. People say they want to work together, and then, I mean, I get that we got to make money. I understand that, but I cannot make money knowing that I'm helping somebody else do the wrong thing. You see, a bunch of people got busted for Medicaid fraud here in Colorado this last couple of months. And I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want anything to do with these people for a year. What came out of my mouth was, I fucking told every single one of you. In the present moment, I just want to go on and let everybody know what's actually going on. But shut up. I'm not in the mood, dude. Oh no. It makes me feel betrayed when I'm doing something with somebody and then they go do the same thing with these fucking people that are just. So, what it makes me want to do is just shut all this shit down and, not my daily reflections on stuff. I'm talking about my business. Just, shutting the fucking thing down and go flip hamburgers or something. I think my sanity would be a little bit better, right? So what's my choice on this going to be? Am I going to cause more confusion than harmony? Should I allow friends to do that? It makes me feel used, man. Because this person comes to me a lot, and I build them back up. That's what I'm really good at, is building people back up. Maybe I should start charging for that. Dude, come here. I'll give you some love. He's like, I don't want love. I want outside. If you loved me, you would put me outside. So, I don't know. Which is probably a good place to be, right? I don't know. Gary, Chris, good to see you. And babe. Do you guys understand Cat? Because I guess he's the one doing this today. All right. Gary, I get that, but it isn't them. All right. Doesn't that come down to me? Dude. Okay, he's in the window looking for something. I'm going to let him be. He's getting fixed in 13 days. Poor guys. So I did have something out of the daily reflection. I was having a hard time finding something that was satisfactory to me that I was willing to talk about without um, being a dick, right? Because yeah, I go through things, but it still doesn't give me the right to come on here and stir things up and be a dick. Although I have every right to, with the way I've been treated in this town, I have every right. I'll give you guys one. Nah, doesn't matter. Just sober. Who is it? Sober Underground. They're very rude to me. I've never met them. You know, to be honest, being a recovery coach in Colorado, it feels like being in fucking high school. It does. And there was a reason why I didn't go to high school because that shit just pisses me off, and I end up tearing up through people. So I could also become the opposite, where if I need to, I could go start standing on hills and just spouting everything that's going on, so that other people can take it on. All right, let's get to this, because there's nothing crossing my brain that I think is viable that would help us here. It's okay to be me is what I ended up picking out. It was the closest thing that I could find in here without, um, without sitting here for 20 minutes trying to figure something out, because I don't want to try and figure anything else out either, because this should come easy. Doing a daily reflection should come easy. So, time after time, newcomers have tried to keep themselves certain facts about their lives. They have turned to easier methods, but they had not learned enough humility. 72, 73. We can get too big for our britches. When I was in the Phoenix concept, I was it was 3 months sober, and I was real young, and so I was like a different K. Blah blah. It doesn't matter. They allowed me to go out and start working for a youth team, the West Side Drug Free Youth Team with Pat Vigil, and I've been doing a lot of that. But what I hadn't been doing was my work, right? So my intentions were good, but I strayed away from the work because I wasn't there all the time like everybody else. Okay. The other thing was this: I was ignoring my 4-step. And one day, Ray called me into his office, Ray Hayworth, and he said, Dion, we think you're doing really well, but you've gotten too big for your britches. You're grounded. And they made me stay. He didn't call it grounded, but he said, what I want you to do is I want you to commit to staying here for the next month and doing your 4-step. Would you be willing to do that? And I told him yes. I said, I don't really want to. I will miss my friends, but yes, I will do that. What was the choice to be, man? I missed my friends during that month, but he was right. See, I was getting too big for my britches, and it wouldn't have mattered how many teams I was on. I would start causing more confusion than harmony, because then I would start running my mouth on topics that I am not aware of, that I think that I should be talking on, but I shouldn't, because I didn't go through the 12 steps, because something interfered with that process that happened to be something that sounded bigger or better or greener on the other side. Now that's happening with recovery coaching. People are becoming recovery coaches before they have completed their 12 steps. This is something that I am talking about in our recovery community. I go back and forth with people about this all the time. Even if you were just new and you found out that your recovery coach had 3 months of sobriety and did not currently have a sponsor and hasn't worked the steps, would you feel comfortable with this person helping you control your life? If you are in a sober living and you have been assigned, ask them how much time they have. If they don't have over a year, ask for a different one. See, you have the right to determine which recovery coach you see. It doesn't say you have to see this particular recovery coach. Read your contract. I'll let you know their contracts suck. How do I know? Because I saw them and I told them your contracts suck. You cut and paste them. Whew, somebody sprayed. Thanks, dude. Fucking assholes. I'm reading out of Two Wives today. I know, in here. Let's see what it says to do here. 72, 73. Dude, could you have not waited 2 minutes? More than most people, the alcoholic leads a double life. He is very much the actor. To the outer world, he likes to present his stage character. This is the one that he likes his fellows to see. He wants to enjoy a certain reputation, but knows in his heart he doesn't deserve it. Hey, Michael, good to see you, man. That's why you're fashionable, my brother. So, yeah, and in this part, what comes to my mind is, and what I'm seeing a lot of, are people in AA still wearing their masks. Oh, everything's great all the time, and I talk real well, and da-da-da-da-da. How many times do you guys hear me come to you with problems? Besides every day, almost every day, huh? That is life on life's terms. Right? If life is always hunky fucking dory, something is wrong. Something's wrong, man. And ask them. Maybe they have a fear. Maybe they're looking for the right person to ask, and you coming up and asking them will help them with that. If not, at least you tried, right? The inconsistency is made worse by the things he does on sprees. Coming to his senses, he's revolted at certain episodes he vaguely remembers. These memories are a nightmare. He trembles to think that someone might have observed him. As fast as he can, he pushes these memories far inside himself. He hopes they will never see the light of day. He is under constant fear and tension. That makes for more drinking. This is exactly why I drank at home. That's exactly why I drank at home. That, and it was convenient. And there's another big reason. Drinking and driving. Hey, Paula, good to see you, honey. Drinking and driving. Big one for me. That's why I drank at home. That's why I made sure I had enough at home. And even then, I would walk to the liquor store. Sometimes it would take me like 2 hours to walk to the liquor store because I would have to stop and sit down because I just didn't have the muscle to walk to the liquor store. Or it's just that I was always drunk, so I couldn't make it. I always made it home somehow. Always made it home. I don't know how. So what this does is it makes for more drinking because we don't know what else to do with it. Especially once it's started, we really don't know what to do with that drinking, right? So psychologists are inclined to agree with us. We have spent thousands of dollars for examinations, but know of a few instances where we have been given doctors a fair break. We have seldom told them the whole truth, nor have we followed their advice. Unless willing to be honest with these sympathetic men, we are honest with no one else. Small wonder many in the medical profession have a low opinion of alcoholics and their chance for recovery, right? And they'll never be able to help us because we're not honest with them. Make your doctor's job easier. This is what should be going through your mind. What can I do to make your job easier? That's how I got out of jail early. No, officer, I didn't do it, but what can I do to make it better for you? Fucking hated being there. All right, so I've switched to 2 wives. Our homes have been a battleground many an evening. In the morning, we have kissed and made up. Our friends have counseled chucking them in, and we have done so with finality, only to be back a little while hoping, always hoping. Our men have sworn great solemn oaths, and they were through drinking forever. We would have believed them when no one else could or would. Then, in days, weeks, or months, a fresh outburst. We seldom had friends at our homes, never knowing how or when the men in our house would appear. We could make few social engagements. We came to live almost alone. When we were invited out, our husbands sneaked out so many drinks that they spoiled the occasion. If, on the other hand, they took nothing, their self-pity made them killjoys. There was never financial security. Positions were always in jeopardy or gone. An armored car could not have brought the pay envelopes home. The checking account melted like snow in June. Sometimes there were other women. How heartbreaking was this discovery? How cruel to be told they understood our men as we did not. Ow, man. Fucking ow. Thank you, God. I'm thanking God because I didn't go there with my wife. The bill collectors, the sheriffs, the angry taxi drivers, the policemen, the bums, the pals, and even the ladies they sometimes brought home. Our husbands thought they were so inhospitable. Joy killer, nag, wet blanket, that's what they said. Next day, they would be themselves again, and we would forgive and try and forget. We have tried to hold the love of our children for their father. We have told small tots that father was sick, which was much nearer the truth than we realized. They struck the children, kicked out the door panel, smashed treasury crockery, and ripped the keys out of pianos. In the midst of such pandemonium, they have rushed out, threatening to live with other women forever. In desperation, we have even got tight ourselves. The drunk to end all drunks. The unexpected result was that our husbands seemed to like it. Perhaps at this point, we got a divorce and took the children home to father and mother. Then we were severely criticized by our husband's parents for desertion. Usually, we did not leave. We stayed on and on. We finally sought employment ourselves as destitution faced us and our families. Usually, there's going to be some kind of separation. Usually, there's going to be some kind of separation there. Donald, I don't know what that is right there, dude. If you can explain that, that would be cool. If not, then we have no idea what you're talking about. So if you listen to that, it's coming from the other side, but you could feel it, couldn't you? I could feel it. It hurt. It hurt to read that because that was me. Right? Back then, I didn't really have the choice on whether I was going to cause more harm or confusion. Alcohol had that choice. Drugs and alcohol had that choice. But now, the drugs and alcohol are gone. Right? I've been restored to sanity. I've done the work. I now get the choice on what I'm going to do with my day, whether I'm going to supply more harmony or confusion. Okay? Yeah, sometimes I stop for a minute because people are writing. That's why I do that. I'm not the only person here, right? It does hurt to read that or to hear that. I've been on both sides of that coin, yeah. And it fucking... all you can do is pray, right? I mean, even even thinking about just being back in that situation makes me feel hopeless. Yeah. And I don't want to be there again. Ever. Ever. Humility sounds sounds so much like humiliation, but it is really the ability to look at myself and honestly accept what I find. That's actually what it caught me to read this, right? Humility sounds so much like humiliation. It is not. It is the furthest thing from it. Humiliation means somebody is putting you down in front of other people. You've been humiliated, right? And it becomes a verb. But humility is something very different. I combined these words for a long time too, and I had a hard time with that. So separate them. Humility is different than humiliation, a lot. Right? And honestly, except what I find, I no longer need to be the smartest or the dumbest or any est. That would be humiliation. Finally, it is okay to be me. Okay. It is easier for me to accept myself if I share my whole life. So the person that you guys see here is the same person that you would meet anywhere. Okay? My mask is not any different from any other place. I'm still going to talk the same. Some of my verbiage may change because maybe I'm talking to a professional and I'm trying to get something across. But how I'm going to talk, what I'm going to talk about, who I am, everything else is all going to stay the same. Because I no longer have time to create things to make you feel good about yourself or bad or anything. It's not my job and shouldn't be. It's not my job to determine your worth. That's God's job. If I cannot share meetings, then I better have a sponsor, someone with whom I can share those certain facts that could lead me down to a drunk to death. All right. Nope, you are not to dump at meetings. Go get a sponsor. Now, if you don't have a sponsor and you go to a meeting and you still need to dump, find somebody after the meeting, man. Find somebody to talk to, but don't do it at the meeting. Okay? Well, it depends on the meeting too. You know, like in my home group, if you're new and you're going through something, we usually let them, talk for a little bit, and then we'll talk about what they talked about and try and support them. So, what I just said, yeah, fuck what I just said. Let those people talk. Um, I need the fifth step to learn true humility. Easier methods do not work. Okay. And easier methods will not work because it isn't really a sense of easy or hard. It's just, it is what it is. Okay. And when it comes to the fifth step, until you hit a certain point, nothing will happen. That's why we say half measures avail us nothing. The fifth step has to be done honestly and thoroughly. Right. I was telling my sponsee how many more lists he had to do yesterday because he was curious. We counted. I'm like 12. And he's like, "What?" I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right. It's a day at a time. So when I have my guys go through their fourth and fifth step, I tell them 15, 20 minutes a day, and then you put it away. Sometimes they come to me and they want more time. So I let them. Okay. Yeah, man. So good chance I may be back later. I don't know. I feel like I still got some things on my mind. But my grandkids will be here. So got the cute little blondes coming over. Got half the grandkids. So all right, guys. I might be back later. I don't know. If not, I'll be back tomorrow for the daily reflection. In the meantime, throw prayers my way. I need some direction on which way to go with some things, because I don't want to cause more confusion than harmony. But I'm done hiding from the truth too. So, all right, guys, I love you. Peace out.